And again, let me grab the microphone. Sorry about that. I always keep forgetting to put the microphone in front of me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world. You know it is JJ here on JJ's PC Builds. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. And also, to my new subscribers, welcome to the family. Welcome to JJ's PC Builds. And my veteran subscribers, always much love to you for all that you do, watching the videos, spreading the word out to have everybody come down and subscribe right here to the family at JJ's PC Builds, by the way. Okay. You are now here today with me on JJPB TV. If you didn't know what JJPB is, JJ's PC Build TV. We're at episode 5. We made it to episode 5, so let's go on and get to the news. I'm going to bring you some news updates of what I've been listening to and watching around and everything else. So let's get to it. Let's go to the action screen and see what's cooking. All right, the quarterly uptick in CPU shipment provides a spark of optimism for the PC market. From what they're saying is that there's a little uptick on the horizon. For various reasons, it's been pretty bleak couple years for the PC market overall. The pandemic right there, and the worker furloughs, particularly China, a weak global economy, component shortages, high selling prices have all combined to create something of a perfect storm. But the latest analysis from John Petty Research shows a glimmer of hope. There's a sign suggesting the worst of the PC market downturn is behind us, and at least on the CPU side of things, let's just go right to it. According to the JPR Global Client, CPU shipments totaled 53.6 million units. 53.6 million units in the second quarter of 2023, which is an increase of 17% from the previous quarter. Now, you notice I don't really read along, when it comes to things, because I have problems with my eyes. But I'm doing it for you all so that way you all can get a gather. And I know some of you are at work listening in to the channel, and I know this is like a podcast to you, so we're trying to get it out there to you just to let you know that while you're working, and either that or you're at home doing something and you're listening into the channel. So, but do stay tuned because there's always more. Which an increase is 17% from the previous quarter. That is good news from what they're saying. I threw that in there. The not so good news is that the year-on-year shipments are down by 23%. They're up by 17, down by 23. Make up my mind. So that's for the desktops, and the notebooks, your laptops, whatever, 25%. Though the given quarterly number, those results could have been a lot worse. So the Q2 of 22, they say it was up, past 80%. Then it drops down below 60% in Q1 of 23, and Q2 of 23, it comes back up to 54%. It comes back up to 62 or 63%. They say 54. It goes from down to 46 to 54. Their numbers are confusing. I'm going by the metrics that are on the chart, not by what they're saying, the little numbers they're saying it by. I'm trying to go by the metrics of the chart. It drops down a certain percentage, but it comes back up a certain percentage. So it drops down 25% and it comes back up 17%. There, clarity. That's all they had to do was a little bit of clarity. When broken down by the vendors, Intel is the winner of the quarter, with an increase of 23% in market share, while AMD dropped 5.3%. That can surely be attributed to the wider availability of notebooks with Intel 13 Gen CPUs and affordable 13 Gen desktop CPUs. AMD doesn't yet have affordable Ryzen 7000 series desktop CPUs, which this is true. This is true. Though notebook Zen 4 chips are trickling into the market. So, it looks like AMD, Intel's got AMD over a wrap. So, and plus also too, if you're using their their newest processors, you'll be lucky you get all the way up to 6 gigahertz on some of their processors. Yet to see that on AMD. Yet to see any performance that will trickle to that magic number on AMD. So it's not looking too good for AMD around on 2023. Not unless they come out with the processor that's going to take and blow AMD out of the water. Which, just like them trying to find a GPU to blow Nvidia out of the water, which that never happened. 4090 is still rocking with Nvidia, and the 13th gen at 13900K is still over rocking AMD. So, AMD is kind of on loose ends when it comes to high performance. They're more or less focused on the low end, and that's the reason why their percentages are dropping, because they're dropping off their high end and focusing on the low end. When it comes to the GPUs, maybe even the CPUs, you never know. You never know what they got cooking in their mind. Make sure you got your drink and snacks with you. Have that cooking for you as well. Now let's move on to Fujitsu, which, I hope I said that right. Fujitsu is confirming the end to European client PC sales. Fujitsu is to end the sale of personal computers across Europe from April 2024, as Japanese companies look to make changes in the business model. A spokesperson confirmed in an email to TechRadar Pro that the manufacturer will be focusing on build a business model that will make sustainability transformation the core business. So basically, they're going on to the business end, because they're going to jump from the gaming end to the business end, because when it comes to AI, I guarantee they're going to be jumping to the business end. So it's already ended on June the 30th that they're already transitioning, but time will tell. We'll find out more about this story as the story goes on. So moving over to China, Chinese tech companies are spending billions on nerfed Nvidia GPUs. Beijing needs much more computing power to try and compete in the AI business. So, excuse me. Why it matters. China's interest giants are securing as many Nvidia GPUs as they can. A new report suggests a recent sanctions imposed by the White House have forced Asian companies to spend billions on the devices, which are essential if they want to develop their own generative AI systems. Wow. Didn't know that, but now we do, just to let you know. The U.S. government is increasing its pressure on the American tech companies to curb export of advanced computing technologies to China. The Chinese government says it will retaliate, while Chinese companies are currently investing billions of dollars to purchase or likely to pre-purchase GPU cards made by California-based company Nvidia. Good Nvidia story. Good Nvidia story. So we're going to continue with it. Here we go. A new report states that Alibaba, Baidu, and ByteDance and Tencent have collectively placed orders for 100,000 Nvidia A800 GPUs, spending around $1 billion. The A800 card is a neuter version of the Ampere-based A100 processor, a stripped-down version of a 3-year-old GPU technology that Nvidia cooked up for the Chinese consumers after Washington imposed strict limitations on GPU interconnection speeds. Wow. Did not know that. According to unnamed people familiar with the issue, the aforementioned companies also placed further orders for Nvidia's GPUs for an additional $4 billion. These new chips will be delivered next year, but there are no additional indications about what GPU models have been purchased. Nvidia could now be selling the Chinese companies the H800 chip, a less powerful and capable version of the Ada Lovelace GPU generation for GPU and HPC applications. Wow. Now read that, hear that very carefully. Ada Lovelace. What's that? The 40 series? The RTX 40 series? What, now they're kicking up the 40 series to China? Come on, Nvidia, you can do better than that. I mean, for real. I mean, if you're kicking up 40 series GPUs, you know, that is really interesting. That's a claim, but it doesn't say it's true or false. It's just a claim. It's what they put on the internet. It's just a claim. Until we get accurate sources, I'm not going to jump the gun just yet. But I am going to pull the trigger a little bit on this for the simple fact I don't put it past Nvidia to do so. So the thing is this. Imagine the GPU shortage getting really short really quick, with Nvidia pushing their market share to China. This is what this doesn't say it's a leak or an alleged, it just says what it is. So we don't know if it's true or false, but I'm going to take it. If they posted it on the internet, nobody's debunked it yet, I'm taking it as pretty much true. So when it comes to the GPUs, it looks like the GPU war has begun. And when it comes to AI, it looks like it's going to turn out to be like cryptocurrency. We're going to have a GPU shortage because of this new AI, and you know this AI boom is going to last a long time. So I'm just going to say, before it gets to next year, do yourself a favor. Make sure your GPUs are up to your standards for the next 5 years. I'm just saying that for a simple fact, because it's going to take that long before you can get something decent out of these companies. And I'm not knocking the companies. I'm just saying that, their focus right now is on AI and to make billions and trillions of dollars. They ain't focused on the gamers anymore. They kind of looked at basically the 99% that ain't buying and just the 1% that's buying. And guess what? They're just going to take and cash their cards in, and they're going to go where the money is. So by everybody not buying GPUs, that pretty much told them that, the gamers are thumbing their nose up to these companies, and they said, okay, well, then they're just going to sell to the bigger buyers. So they got their bigger buyers. That's the reason why now Nvidia became a $1 trillion company. I mean, it's kind of wackoed, like tobaccoed, but when it comes down to it, this is what everybody wanted. They think they're going to get something bigger and better and better. And I'm going to tell you, you're not going to get something bigger, better, and better. You pretty much, got the best what you got. You pretty much got the best of the best on the market. That's currently on the market right now. You got the best of the best for at least another year. Now, if they come out with something faster than the 4090, then that's something that comes out brand new. That's going to be above the 4090. And that seems to be the only card that's king right now of the gaming world is the RTX 4090. Now, y'all are looking at AMD to do something. They had their chances when they had many chances to do something. They haven't done nothing yet to counter Nvidia with their biggest, baddest card. Did nothing. What? Their 7900 XTX counters the RTX 4080? So what? What is AMD going to do to counter the fact of the RTX 4090? Nothing. And so far, it's been a long time for nothing. What? Think about the time that they released the RTX 4090 till now. How long is it? Pretty quite a while now. And pretty much that, everybody's phased out last year's GPUs. They're pretty much almost phased out. They're pretty much almost sold to where you can only get them when they're used. So think about that. All the last gen GPUs are almost phased out. So if you get your hands on one, then you'll be one of the lucky ones that get your hands on one. But if you get your hands on the new GPUs, then you'll be lucky to get your hands on the new GPUs. But if Nvidia goes through with, shipping to China the 40 series or the 30 series or the 20 series or the 10 series or the 5 series or, in a domino effect, any one of the series, something that equals to those processors that they're using, then guess what? Then it looks like they're going to be taking the processors that they use for the gamers' GPUs, and they're going to focus it towards the AI boom. take them right off the board, construct something else, and sell those for 70 to 80 to 100 grand. Just for one of them. Probably one of them's just 100 grand. So if they're making that kind of money over there, do you really think they're going to focus on the gamers right now? Hell no. They're going to be more focused on where the money is. Since the gamers decided, and I'm not cutting on the gamers. I'm staying behind the gamers on this. You know, the thing is, you know, they screwed up. They made everything overpriced. They thought they can squeeze the gaming market, and the gaming market told them to go to hell. And then they said, well, you know what? You tell us go to hell, we'll tell you go to hell. That's basically what they're thumbing their finger up to us now by running to the AI boom. Creating this big old AI boom to where they can make, you know, 70 to 100,000 per crack. You know, let's say they sell you a GPU, right? Let me say they sell you a GPU for $1,600, right? They turn around and take that same die, put it on a different board, and turn around and sell it to one of them big manufacturing companies, the same die for $100,000. Where do you think they're going to go with that same die? They're going to go where the money is. That's usually how it works in this world. You follow the money. Okay? That's the only way you become successful is by following the money. So, and that's what I have a feeling that's going to happen. It's already showing up on their finance reports, how they're following the money. It's not coming from the gamers. The gamers are not buying as much GPUs as they would like because the cost of inflation and everything else, it just makes it almost impervious to buy a GPU at this point. For the price point, it just makes it impervious to buy one because all they're going to do is the more that you buy of one GPU, they're going to hammer it and they're going to raise the prices. It's like if everybody buys 3060s, they're going to start raising the prices because it's become a needed commodity. Okay. Now, if nobody bought the 3060s and they sat there, yeah, the price is going to come down. So that's what everybody's waiting to see, if the prices are going to come down. Like on the 40 series, everybody knows that the 4060 and the 4060 Ti is nothing but a novelty piece. Okay, some are saying, yeah, it could be pretty good, you know, if you're just starting the game and everything else. Some people are saying, you know, the cards are crap and everything else. Some are saying, you know, I'm in between. Okay, me, I'm saying, since I don't have the card in front of me, I'm not saying nothing. But I can see the reports between the 4060 Ti, 8 or 16 gigabytes, to the 4070. I can tell you about the 4070 is because I have it right here. It's not in the box. It's in my PC over here. The box is empty. This box is empty. So it's in my PC. And if you don't believe me, I'll turn you around. Look. Right there. Right there. Right there. See? Now, that's the thing. When it comes to my choice of making it for a graphics card, yes, I did choose the 4070, the RTX 4070. It was a good mid-tier card to me. I didn't want last gen cards. I wanted something with future availability. I want this card to last 5 years. Future availability. So when I'm starting to see that, AMD is going to be, and get this, AMD for the Zen 3, the 5600G and the 5700G, they're going to wind up sooner from what I'm hearing, discontinuing the drivers for those chips, for the APUs on those. So those are going to become extinct real soon. As soon as this new APU comes out, the 5600G and the 5700G are going to come extinct. So that means basically Zen 3, the only thing they had new go on was the 5600X3D. That was it. So it's looking like that the Zen 3 is winding down to where it's going to go, bust sooner or later. They're going to start discontinuing. Nothing lasts forever. Understand that. Nothing lasts forever. So if they start discontinuing things off the Zen 3, then, you're going to be pushing yourself up to the next gen. The next generation would be, Zen 4? Confusing to me, because it should be, it's just confusing. So, just to say. But they're hoping everybody goes to DDR5 or the AM5 or Intel DDR5 or, to the next generation. They don't want anybody to stay on this platform. The less people on the platform, the less they got to make. Less they got to make, the more money they save. See how that works? Simple and factual. Then they start pushing their focus towards the AM5 series or the 14 series, Intel 14 generation, like Intel is doing now. It's not really focusing on the 13th. They're focusing on the 14th and the 15th. Now, AMD, AM5, they're focusing on something. I don't know what the hell they're focusing on. As mixed stories that I get that the new APUs they got coming out are only going to be for laptop. 1 minute, that's what I'm hearing. Next minute, I'm hearing it's for desktop. It's just too confusing. And I'm not going to confuse my subscribers or the viewers watching this video by telling you what they're going to be doing. I can tell you right now, the way things are, I'm going to still stay with the AM4 series. Maybe go up to 13th gen Intel to test it out, and go from there. So that's just to let you know that, so you can see the future availability of what I'm going to be doing. But when I start making the leaps and bounds upwards, I'm not going to be spending high amount of money for products that the same products basically, and understand this, most of your products, you're just paying for a name. You're not paying for the actual product and its usability, of what it can do. You're paying for the name. I've seen this happen many years ago to where, they would sell a PC. They would say, oh, an e-machine, the best thing in the world. Get your e-machine today. They're just selling the name. They're not selling what the product does. And that's what everybody has to get through their head. You have to look very carefully when you're buying your products, is because they're just selling you the name. They don't care what's underneath it because they figure you're just going to buy it anyway because it's the name, it's the brand, it's their brand you're buying. So don't fall into that trap. I'm just going to say it like that. Okay, don't fall into that trap. Look at its usability, if it benefits you or not, if it's going to be reliable or not. Do your homework before you buy PC parts. Do not put yourself into the thing where you say to yourself, okay, well, I bought myself a 3900, a Ryzen 3900. And then you put it together with the motherboard, and you put everything together, and you go to use it, and it runs like a turtle. It just creeps along. And then you're saying to yourself, what did I get myself into? Why didn't I stick and get me a 5950 or something like that? Or a 5800 X3D. Why did I get such a low turtle? Now understand this. Motherboard controls your frequency and everything about your processor and your GPU. Without your motherboard being at the correct, being at that correct moment, it controls everything. It can lock you out too. You can get a motherboard that's only allow you to go up to turbo, and that's it. Has no overclock ability whatsoever. But you get an overclocking chip. You put yourself into that bad boat. Now, think about that very carefully before you go to buy. Do your homework. Make sure your motherboard, and I always say start at the motherboard, because that's going to be the best place you need to start at, because that will tell you what kind of processor you need or greater for that motherboard that will work. Do your homework. Don't listen to this crap that, you got to start with your CPU first. That doesn't tell you start with the CPU first. That doesn't tell you what the motherboard does. That doesn't tell you all that what the motherboard does and what it unlocks and what it doesn't unlock and everything else. Got to remember, the motherboard unlocks everything. It's the gatekeeper. It's the heart of the system. Your processor is not the heart of the system. Your processor is the brain of the system. Your motherboard is the heart of the system, and then going on down the road. So do yourself a favor. Always start at the motherboard. You can go through many motherboards until you find the right one you like that's going to give you the maximum overclock ability that you want. Then after you get that right one, then you go and look for the processor. It's not hard. You get the best processor and the biggest processor you can get for that motherboard. That's not hard. Do yourself a favor. Always have that frame in mind. Okay? You can get the biggest and baddest for that motherboard. Just like this motherboard here, I can get the biggest and baddest on AM4. It's a B550 Strix. The 550-A. I can get the biggest and baddest processor that's on AM4 and plug it into this motherboard. It will handle it. And I know it because it has enough VRM to it to where it won't choke the power to the processor. So the processor can run as wide open as it wants to. So I did my homework. I like the parts I pick up because I pick them up specifically because I know what their usability is. Keep that in mind. Now, if I tell you I pick up these parts, then and I'm using these parts right now, and I've been using these parts for quite a while now, and guess what? I am very happy with the parts I picked. And they work so much in harmony with each other. It's sick. But anyway, I'm not going to make this a 40-minute video. I'm going to make this a 36-minute video. Okay? And I do apologize for not making it a 20-minute video, but I wanted to get this out there and air this off of my chest and everything else. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. And thank you to all my new subscribers. Welcome to the family. Welcome to JJ's PC Builds and my veteran subscribers. As always, much love to you for all the support you show the channel. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, thumbs up. That would help the channel putting it out there to YouTube so we can get more subscribers in, so we can get the channel rolling. And, you know, it's coming up on the 1 year mark. I would love to get up to at least 500 subscribers. It would be a blessing to have 500 subscribers subscribe to the channel. That would be the best birthday gift for the first year of JJ's PC Builds. Just saying. But anyway, until the next time in the next video, this is JJ on JJ's PC Builds. We will see you on the next one.